Okay, so now as we can, if when we were small, at that
हेलो
time,
सीमा टीचर
teacher.
ऑन किया है मैंने रिकॉर्डिंग
Okay, so when we were small, at that time, we wear different clothes and we used to play with different toys. Okay, so we used to keep those things. Okay, now why we keep all those things? Because it has some memories of our childhood. So when we look at these pictures, so we can see those memories too. Okay, so now here you can see some notebooks and diaries. Okay, now you are friends. Now it is possible that you are making some diaries or some textbook or notebooks which you like most and you kept it. Okay, so why you keep this thing to remember for the things whatever happened during this time. Understood? Now in the same way, we also get some historical documents. Okay, when we excavated, okay, now we got some manuscripts, books, coin, artifacts, and monuments. Now it is very important to keep care of all these things. Okay, so now where we can keep all these things? We keep this thing at different places. For example, we keep things in the libraries, museums, archives. For what? To conserve and preserve this precious historical heritage. Now, why this is a precious? Why is it precious? Because history cannot be repeated, as we all know. As history cannot be repeated, so whatever the things, whatever the manuscript, whichever we have got, that cannot be recreated. So they are very precious. Okay, so it is very important to take care of all these things. Okay, now the documents also have some artifacts. Now you can see the artifact, you can see the coins, monuments, books. So these are also has a very much importance in the history. So they saved, they stored, they preserve in the museums and archives. Archives, sorry. Now for keeping these things, okay, now these all are things, these all things whichever we get from excavation or somewhere else, they all are talking about the history, whatever the things happened in the past, they all are talking about those things. So they are the sources which helps to understand our history. So these all are called as the sources of history. So it is very important that we should conserve and preserve these sources. Okay, now the sources of history are found in three different forms: oral sources, written sources, and material sources. Now, these are the three different forms of the sources which we get and which gives information about our history. So now let us discuss first, that is oral sources of history. Okay, now oral sources of history, now we all know oral sources in the sense the sources which transferred from one generation to another in oral form. So these are called as oral sources of history. Then mythology and linguistics is also important. Huh.
कंटिन्यू टीचर
Okay. So library science and information technology. It is the knowledge of this is also important. If the a person who is analyzing the oral sources do not have the knowledge of the library science, then information technology, how it can how it can be used. Okay, if the knowledge is not this, it is very important. The knowledge of these things should be there. The knowledge about the history and historical research method. There are different methods is being used to research on the historical things. So this knowledge should also be there with the person. Then writing of research report and articles. These are some important trainings is important for the person who is analyzing the oral sources of history or conserving the oral sources of history. Now, after that, the second source is also an important source, that is written sources of history. Now, the written sources of history is talking about something which is in written form. Okay, now if we get coins, copper plates, on that inscriptions are given. Now what is inscription? Inscription, something is written, something is in on written form. Now if we take a coin, the example of coin, now in present days also where we have coins, on that different things are written, different year has different achievement, that achievement is also printed on the coins. Okay, so the coins in the copper plates, you can see the copper plates are mentioned here. The picture is given. So they are the inscriptions given on that, then different official documents, records of the official documents, then personal correspondence and diaries, historical books, old book, manuscript, pictures, photograph. These are the some sources of written history. Okay, now the sources which is in written form. So we get some information as per the writing of the sources. Now completing necessary mechanical and chemical processes of cleaning for the conservation and preservation of collected document. Okay, mechanism and chemical processes are done. Okay, now when the things are extracted from the land, so it has some dust on it. Okay, and because of that different chemicals in soil, they get some difference, and we're not able to see the inscriptions. So some chemicals, the process of chemicals for cleaning, all these things should be done, and at the same time to preserve. For preserving this thing, the chemicals should be used, otherwise it can get degraded. So because of that, the knowledge should be there for that. That ascertaining the historical value of collected document, exhibiting selected document, and publishing edited document and research report. So these are the process of written sources of history. Now, which are the necessary training? Okay, now as we all know that it talks about the inscriptions. So the person should have knowledge of different scripts like Brahmi, Modi, Persian, and their development, how they got changes, how they got changed from past to present time. If the knowledge is not, the person is not have all this knowledge, so it can create a problem to understand the written sources of history. Now after that, there should be knowledge of social organization and traditions, literature and culture also, then dynastics, administrative system, etc. of the past society. All should be there. The knowledge of various schools and styles of painting and sculptural art and history of their development. Okay, now we already learn about the different schools in the previous chapters. For example, analyst school we have studied. Okay, so the person who is talking, who is going to conserve and preserve the written sources, they should have the knowledge of the different schools, how this style of painting and sculpture art has been changed from the past to present, and the history of development should be known to the person. Then which type of paper and ink and color has been used? Now we already know that previously different things have been used to write. Okay, now they used to use the juice of flower to writing, and slowly and gradually they invented the different ink, the different colors ink. Okay, so this all knowledge should be there with the person. Then knowledge of properties of various stones and metals used for inscriptions. Okay, the different stones. Now we already know there are different types of stones available in our nature. So which type of stone has been used? Okay, for writing, which metal is being used, that also should be known to the person. Now, which equipments and chemicals should be used to process of cleaning the whatever the sources which we have got from the uh, excavation, which chemicals should be used for that to clean it out, to conserve and preserve is also should be known to the person. Now, knowledge of various approaches, knowledge of various approaches of managing exhibitions in museums, galleries, and information technology. Okay, how to manage different things should be, the knowledge of that should be there with the person. And after that, how to write the research report and article, whatever the thing he has analyzed, interpreted, that knowledge should also be there with the person. Now, now we are going to discuss the third, but now that is material sources of history. Now, what the material sources include? It includes the artifacts. We can see the artifacts are given here. Okay, then different coins and different, whatever the things which we get in the form of material, which we can touch, is called as material sources. Okay, now what should be done? First, we have to collect the artifact, then classify them according to their historical date, type, and preparing indexes. Okay, we all have index in our textbook. It gives us information on which page we can get which chapter. In the same way, when the person is analyzing all this thing, that time he has to make the index on which page, on which type of uh, historical monument, the information about the historical monument we can get. So that index should be prepared according to historical date. For example, about which dynasty the thing is belongs, from which civilization the thing is belong, Harappan, Mesopotamian, and different civilization, Mauryan dynasty, Ashoka's dynasty, different. So that should be there. Then after that, completing of the necessary mechanical and chemical processes of cleaning for the conservation and preservation of collected documents. Okay, that knowledge should also be there. Then whatever the thing, whichever we have got, that should be arranged properly for the exhibition. Okay, or we can sometimes we use the replicas also instead of that. Okay, now when you you all have visited to different museums, so when we move to that museum, sometimes we get the original things that we cannot touch. Okay, and we should not touch those things. And sometimes we get some replicas of that. Okay, now, for example, if you want to see the dinosaurs, so you have to go to a bigger museum. But that replica of that you can see in the small museums also. Then writing and publishing research articles about collected artifacts. Classifying fossils of plants and animals and preparing indexes. Okay, now how we come to know about the dinosaurs when we get the fossils of those animals uh, and different plants. So different the fossils means what the remains, okay, which uh, piled inside the earth because of some different natural calamities. So all these fossils of plant and animals should be classified and index should be made, exhibiting selected fossils to their replicas. We already discussed about this. Okay, now which training is very important for this? First and very important, it is the knowledge of archaeological method, theory and history of ancient civilization. Okay, if we don't know the history of the ancient civilization, you cannot recognize from which civilization, from which part of which timeline of history the thing is belongs. The knowledge of regional sources of materials like stones, minerals, metals, and clay used in the production of artifacts and their chemical properties. Knowledge of equipment and chemicals necessary for the cleaning of artifacts and other chemical processes. Then knowledge of various schools and styles of art and their development, knowledge of and skill of making replicas, models of artifacts and fossils. Now we all when there is a science exhibition in your class in your school, so that time we you used to make different models. Okay, so in the same way, the models based on the whatever the uh, sources which we get from the earth, that replica, how to make model out of it, the same structure, that knowledge should be there. If that knowledge will not be there, the person is not able to make the proper and exact replica, so it will not give satisfaction to the viewer. The knowledge of various approaches of managing exhibitions in museums, galleries, and information technology. This should also be there. Then writing research reports and articles. Okay, so now we have discussed till now about the three different type of sources of history, that is oral, written, and material. And after that, we have discussed which training is important, okay, for um, conserving and preserving all these type of sources of the history. Now we already discussed all these sources we get according to their nature at different places. Some things we get in museums, some in archives, and some in libraries. So now first we are going to discuss about the museums. So now we are going to discuss about some famous museums. Okay, so the first is the Louvre Museum of France. Okay, it's established in the 18th century. Okay, now it includes different antiquities. Now, what is antiquities? The things which belongs to past, which collected by the different archaeologists, different historians. Okay, so antiquity collected by member of royal family exhibited in the Louvre Museum. Now, it is acclaimed. It acclaimed what the painting of Mona Lisa, which is made by Leonardo da Vinci. Now you can see the Louvre Museum. Its picture is given here. Now he worked under the patronage. Now what do you mean by the patronage? Patronage in the sense under the guidance or support of Francis I, the King of France in the 16th century. Now the Louvre Museum has get expanded, extended, and it started collecting a lot of antiquities which is brought by Napoleon Bonaparte. We all know about the person. Okay, now at present, the museum contains more than 3,80,000 artifacts. Okay, now the second important museum which we are going to discuss is the British Museum of England. Okay, it was established in the 18th century by Sir Hans Sloane, who was a natural scientist. And how many objects he handed over? 71,000 objects. 71,000 objects handed over to him. To whom he handed to the King of England, George II. Now, what are the things it includes? It includes books, specimens of preserved plant, that is called as herbarium. All and different many things like this have been included here. Now, what happens slowly and gradually? The collection has been expanded by addition of various art objects and ancient artifacts collected by the British people from British colonies. And at present, there are about 80 lakh objects in the museums. Okay, British colony. I hope all of you know the Britishers have colonized some countries, and those countries are called as colonies of the British. Now, the next important museum which we are going to discuss, National Museum of Natural History, United States of America. Okay, now it is established in the year 1846. And it is managed by whom? Smithsonian Institution. And it contains more than 12 crore, that is 120 million specimens of fossils and remains of plants and animals, minerals, rocks, human fossils, and artifacts. Okay, now we have discussed different museums now here, but all these museums is talking about across the country. Okay, till now we have whatever the museum we have discussed in the chapter, this is all talking about across the country. Now we are going to discuss some important museums of our own country, our India. So let us discuss museums in India. Now first, the first museum of India, that is Indian Museum, was established by whom? The Asiatic Society of Bengal, and it is in Calcutta, Kolkata. Now it is called as Kolkata. It was established in the year 1814. Then afterwards, another museum has been established by the government in Chennai, that is Government Museum, in the year 1851. And after that, the next museum, that is National Museum, is established in Delhi in the year 1949. So these are some museums. Okay, now these are not all the museums. There are many different museums in our country which we are going to discuss. Okay, Now, as the museums, you can see these museums are bigger. So those museums which are bigger in the size, they have extended size, they have their own archives and libraries. But some museums are affiliated to universities. Affiliated in the sense, uh, they take support of that. Okay, you can say that. So such museums also offer courses in museology. Now, what is museology? Museology is something which talks about the research and collection and do the different things in the field of museums. In short, you can say it talks about something in detail about the museums. So there are some institutes and universities which we are going to count in this. That is the National Museum of Delhi, Maharaj Sayajirao University, Vadodara, Kolkata University, Kolkata, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, which is also known as BHU, Aligarh Mumbai University, Aligarh, and Jivaji University, Gwalior. So these are the some museums which are affiliated to the universities. Now, our our Maharashtra also has a museum which is called as Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastu Sangrahalaya. Okay, now this museum was established in the year 1904. Okay, so the residents of Mumbai decided to establish this museum to commemorate the visit of Prince Wales to India. Now, in the month of November 1905, the foundation was laid of this museum. Okay, on that period it was started. The name which was decided at that time was on the name of the Prince of Wales Wales. That is Prince of Wales Museum of Western India. Okay, now, but slowly and gradually the name has been changed, as many name has been changed in the different stations, we can say. So the name has been changed and it become Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastu Sangrahalaya. But previously it was Prince of Wales Museum of Western India. But in the year 1998, the name has been renamed as Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastu Sangrahalaya. Okay, now different stations also renamed. For example, VT, Victoria Terminus, has been renamed as Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus. Okay, so as it belongs to us, so it also should have name of our own nation. So the name has been changed. Okay, what is the style of the building? The style of the building is depends on the Indo-Gothic style, and it got grade 1 in heritage building in Mumbai, and it comprises about 50,000 antiquities divided into 3 categories, that is arts, archaeology, and natural history. Okay, so now today we have discussed about 2 important points of this chapter. The first point was the sources of history, how to conserve and preserve. And the second point we had discussed different museum which is required for conserving and preserving the different sources of history. In that we have discussed the museums across the India, museum which belongs to India and museum which is belongs to other than India. Okay, in that we have discussed the famous museum of the Louvre of the France, British Museum of England, and National Museum of Natural History of United States of America. Then we have discussed about different museums of India. Okay, teacher,